Hi, I'm Jenny Keller. Welcome to the Keller Farmhouse. Today I'm going to show you how I make my famous Christmas crack. Sounds kind of bad, but it's actually really good. And I've been making this all season long. At every event, everybody's going crazy for it. And it's very simple, but I thought it's always nice to see somebody actually do it. So that's what we're going to do today. You are going to need a 9x13 pan to get started and some foil. My pan is not 9x13, and that's because my oven doesn't fit a 9x13, so my recipe is a tiny bit smaller than what you will make. But if you want to follow along and you want to make a smaller one, that's totally fine too. I have this pan lined with foil, and then I'm going to use my Wilton Bake Easy spray. I use this for everything. I love it so much. And you're just going to spray so that you don't have any sticking when you go to break your, it's basically a bark, but we call it crack. And you're going to need Ritz crackers. So the full recipe that I am going to email you if you're subscribed to my website calls for a pack and a half of these Ritz crackers. But like I said, since I'm making a little bit smaller of a batch, I just use one sleeve. If you're not subscribed to my site, head there now, jennycookies.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page, there's a little box that says stay in the know. Put your email in there, and I will email you out not only the recipe, but these really cute printable recipe cards that also come in a plain one. So for holiday gifting, these are great. If you don't want to give Christmas crack and you want to give fudge or sugar cookies or something else, you can gift it with the recipe, as well as really cute tags to wrap all, your gifts or baked goods or whatever. Those are free with your subscription. And then this is how cute it will look like with all, done and with the little recipe attached. So continuing on, layering our Ritz crackers. These aren't gonna be perfectly fit inside your pan, and that's okay. The goal is just to get them mostly flat. When you get to the end, you do kind of just have to break pieces. I didn't say this, but you should preheat your oven to 425 degrees so you can get ready for the next step. I didn't quite use them all. I have 3 left, but we're good. So we'll set that aside, and then we have a cup of brown sugar, 1.5 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips, and a 1/3 cup of peanut butter, as well as a 1/2 cup of butter, 1 stick. You can use creamy or crunchy peanut butter. My recipe says creamy, but I've used both. It doesn't really make a huge difference. And if you're really a stickler about not liking semi-sweet, you can use milk chocolate chips if you prefer. So on a saucepan, we're gonna head over here and melt our butter, and then add the peanut butter in. So you just want to make sure that the brown sugar is dissolved before you take it off the saucepan. We're almost there. It almost just barely starts to bubble. Okay, so the sugar is dissolved, and now we're going to pour it directly over the Ritz crackers. I've also seen this done with saltines. If you maybe aren't a fan of Ritz crackers, you can swap it out. And then you're just gonna smooth it over the crackers. It's okay if they move around, because in the end they'll all have a home. Make sure it's all evenly coated. Some kind of do want to pop up, so just make sure everybody's flat, but flat-ish. Okay, and then once you have that completely filled, we're gonna put this in the oven at 425 degrees for 5 minutes. Okay, we're gonna get these out of the oven. It's been 5 minutes. You wanna make sure that it's bubbling, your mixture's bubbling before you grab it out. And it looks like ours is bubbling very nicely. Turn my oven off. And then now you're gonna take your chocolate chips and just sprinkle them over the top. Not in any way, shape, or form, just try and evenly coat. Another thing you can do is you could do half milk chocolate and half semi-sweet, or you could try even white chocolate. Whatever way you make this is going to be good. And so now we're going to let this sit for 1 minute. The heat is just going to melt those right down, and then we're going to smooth over it and pop it in the freezer. Okay, so it's been a minute and our chocolate is now very melty. I'm still gonna use my oven mitt, and you're just gonna spread with a spatula. Well, some of them aren't all the way melted, but that's okay because they'll end up melting. And then I usually top mine with some kind of fun sprinkle. So you could use something Christmassy if you wanted, or something for New Year's, or really this is good anytime. I have just like some sparkling sugars that I'm gonna add on the top, and then little white jimmies that are cute. And actually these are new Wilton sprinkles. They're called white sugar crystals and they're kind of thicker, and I think these are really good. They almost look like rock salt, but they're not. So once you have your, see if I can touch it. Once you have your sprinkles on, it's gonna look something like this. And then you're gonna put this in the freezer for about 15 minutes. And then we're gonna pull it out and break it up and turn it into bark. All right, we have our frozen Christmas crack and it's ready to be broken up. So I have another pan here to break it onto, but you're gonna pull it out. This is why you use the foil. Because A, now you don't have to wash this pan. But, well, now you might, but easy to just tear the back off rather than trying to get this out of your pan. And then you're gonna wanna break this up. Sometimes this is really easy to break, and sometimes you almost need like a meat tenderizer, or I use sometimes the back of a ice cream scoop. So set that as, well, sometimes I use this too as breaking it. So if you don't have an ice cream scoop or a meat tenderizer, sometimes I'll just set this kind of halfway on the tray and just break it like that. And the thing about bark is that you don't need a huge piece. When I first started making this, I'd make these like giant pieces, and people, this is really rich. You don't need a ton. So break them into smaller pieces. Your hands are gonna get really chocolatey. And this lasts quite a long time. If you wanted to make this early for Christmas, this is gonna stay just fine for, I would say, at least up to a week if you store it in an airtight container. You obviously can store it in the freezer, just like we did, and just, not pull it out until right before. But remember, the longer you freeze it, the harder it's going to get to crack. And as I'm breaking this, be sure that you subscribe to my website, jennycookies.com, and get those free recipe cards and cute tags so that you can gift this Christmas or even next. And then in the comments below, I'd love to hear what videos you'd like to see next. So starting next year, we want to do a whole bunch of new videos for you. Do you want to see home decor? Do you want to see baking ideas, party ideas, kids stuff? You name it, I'm here for you. So here's our crack. This is what it's gonna look like. If you want to put it in a little box, it's gonna look really cute like this. So I hope you try it. Let me know how you did, and we'll see you next time.